right. I think we're live. All right. Let's see if we're doing this correctly. What's playing on all live. We are streaming here, and Mike Gandolfo is
hey everybody.
An absentee. He is a big thing in his life right now. So we are welcoming Andrew Hooper this morning, and he'll be joining us any minute, actually getting landed in the Virginia Beach area. So I want to welcome you to our podcast. And today we've got a good topic lined up. I think it's going to be very, very critical for, let's see here. I think Andrew's joining us here. So it's going to be very critical, this conversation, for our leveraging of AI as we build our business and build new relationships. So business process and relationships. Bro, I'm excited to have you. Welcome, man. I know you just got landed there at Virginia Beach. You've got a training. We've got a big webinar right after this, and then you've got a training. So you've got a packed day, and I'm lucky to have you on. So say a few words, man.
Jam-packed agenda today for sure, man. But good morning to everybody. I know where are we live at, Tim? YouTube, LinkedIn. Where else? Can you hear me?
For whatever reason, I cannot hear you, bro. So can you hear me okay?
Yeah, I can hear you.
All right, I just can't hear you. So I'm going to try one thing. Keep talking. What are you seeing out there right now? Some of the trainings you're bringing to the market, some of the energy. I know you just got back from a big event yesterday. What are you seeing? I'm going to fix my audio. I read your lips earlier, though.
Sounds good. Well, I hope everyone can hear me. I do see my audio bar going, so I hope everyone can hear me. If we have comments, someone jump in the chat and let us know if you can hear me or not. That would be great.
Got it. Be great. I can hear you now.
Okay, good. It was a timid. All right.
Andrew, by the way, Andrew and I
this fine day. So you asked what I'm seeing and hearing out there. In what regard, bro? So are you talking from like a, title company, a real estate agent? What regard? Where do you want to start? And I know we're going to go everywhere.
Yeah, we'll jump in. We'll jump in here. I was passing the ball to you first, bro. I can hear you now. So isn't that incredible, right? The world of technology in which we live, and one little technical difficulty. And Andrew always jokes with me because when I do live training stuff, I'm doing a demonstration. If the tech messes up, you'll just see the sweat just profusely pour off my face. Andrew, on the other hand, he'll be up there all cool as a cucumber. He looks at the audience of 200 mortgage bankers. He's like, see, this is exactly what's going to happen. You're going to get back to the office. You're going to say, I got to plug in this tech, and then it's not going to work for you. So Andrew uses the issue as a training moment. And bro, you've just always been cool under pressure like that.
Hey, I don't know what it is, but yeah, it's all good. No one likes to have tech issues.
No,
but you're not wrong. I think, and especially with AI, and when you're training on AI, you're teaching tech. If you don't do it live, what I found is people they try to do something you taught, but they get stuck. They don't know what button to click, or they click the button, it doesn't do what it was supposed to. So I love troubleshooting live, because if it happens to you guys, this is what you need to do. Yeah. So anyway, so back to kind of what we're seeing out there. Did you want to kind of focus on?
Yeah. What are you seeing? I mean, we've got real estate agents joining. We've got mortgage companies joining. We've got title companies, obviously our energized groupies. And so welcome, guys, to, again, the TMS call, Technology in Our Marketing and Sales, every third Thursday at 10 a.m. Andrew, this has been our consistency for 5 years now. Yeah. We've just moved from a 9 to a 10 to make it easier for people to get in the office, and also our central timers to be on. And even we have some West Coast who get up real early. But here's the deal. We get on once a month to bring what we're hearing. And in order to consolidate and also to make it easy for you guys, Mike Gandolfo, who's my buddy, and we do the Trust Factor podcast every Saturday morning. We record and it drops every Wednesday. By the way, some of the recents we've dropped, I would absolutely ask you, especially if you're a leader, watch them and share them with your team. We're bringing what we're training companies with to this show. And I think that when we can think mortgage, real estate, and title and bring it into more of a non-siloed communication posture out to the public, then we can do what our buddy Rick Diamond says, re-articulate our value, title, mortgage, real estate agent, and why your commission matters and how much work we can re-articulate our value to the industry as a whole. And so that's our vision. So it's really been a nice merge here with the Trust Factor podcast. But Andrew, we're so grateful to have you on. So yeah, you just spoke for the Mortgage Bankers Association, dude. I know sometimes mortgages feels like they're dragging their feet a little bit more. Real estate,
well, there's more compliance. I think there's more compliance regulatory concerns.
And then real estate sometimes in over their skis.
Yeah.
So
agents kind of, they'll do it all. And it's like, wait, you did what? Like with what account? A free account? Okay. So definitely, I think overall, just to set the stage, if you're using AI in 2026 and you've been using ChatGPT or you've been using a Gemini or a Copilot, and you're really just still writing emails with it, and it's helping you write. Little news flash alert, like what you should wake yourself up this morning, because where we're headed with AI now, and it's moving fast, is really into this agentic AI space. And if you haven't heard the word agentic, if you haven't studied that, essentially what it means is the ability to give an AI system an entire task across multiple platforms, across multiple browser windows, and it can go execute and complete tasks, build things, research, compile, aggregate, run full-blown workflows that before, if you weren't a tech nerd, you probably would really struggle to set up. So the hottest tools out there right now, and we typically will dig in with you one-on-one with your company to kind of see where you're at. And if you're a title company, any company, you probably want to make sure you have an enterprise version of an AI tool. Tim, I think that's one of the biggest misses I see right now is most companies have not formally rolled out a walled off version of an AI that's very capable, but that keeps data private and secure, which is important. So the hottest tools right now that I think are getting a lot of mention, and rightfully so, Claude. If you're not exploring Claude either as a company or looking at it, it's probably one of the most capable and accurate, and there's an overall feeling of they're a little bit of the most ethical of the AI companies, self-proclaimed, but also just in how they interact and try to not validate the user and just go down into an echo chamber. And you all know what I'm talking about. ChatGPT can make you feel like you're amazing, but sometimes you're not. So you got to have the honesty there too.
Yeah.
So Claude's a pretty hot one right now that can do quite a bit. And so from a miss standpoint, what I was talking about, a big issue I'm seeing is employees at a company are using like shadow AI. So essentially you don't have something rolled out for your entire workforce that's approved. You don't have an AI policy that's approved, that you've put some thought into, that you've thought about the E&O implications, and does it fit under your E&O policy? And then everyone's just kind of off, and you have 3 employees that use ChatGPT, and maybe they're emailing stuff and like using ChatGPT. And then you have some people over here using Claude, and you have all these personal accounts that, while you can opt out of some data and have some data privacy, it's overall not really walled off and secure, right? And no one knows what future implications of that could look like.
Right.
But there is some concern. There's a lot of unknowns here, but there is a general feeling that it's not good to do, right? So understand that if you're not providing an enterprise solution of an AI platform to your team and making it capable, because I think that's a big issue too. Like, people are savvy, they pick on that, man, like agentic AI, some of these agents we can build can do so much to help me be so productive. So if my company is giving me this really pared down, non-capable AI, they're still going to look elsewhere. So make sure you're investing in the right enterprise grade, very capable AI that can accommodate, and then train your team on that. Have the AI policy trainings. What do we give to AI? What are we allowed to give to AI? What are we not allowed to give to AI? And so I don't know if that's where you wanted to go,
Yeah.
but we can
Hey, I
start
love
there.
it. So
Kind of
just to put a
pay
little
attention.
nutshell here, and we're gonna segue just a bit, but guys, if you're not looking at Claude, and by the way, Andrew, I've been married to ChatGPT when it first rolled out. I've played around it. I've been married. It's been a very fruitful marriage. Right now, we're going through a little bit of a separation phase, and I'm with Claude and migrating some stuff. And you've really taught
You
me a
were
lot.
honest with ChatGPT, and you communicated, and you said, you know,
We really did. We're working through mediation, like we're but Claude definitely has. So just take a good hard look at Claude, and then just like today, I was working on a CE outline for the great state of Tennessee, something I'll be doing in August, and I was working on a CE outline in Copilot because again, if you're in mortgage, you're probably in Copilot in the Outlook environment, and I just asked for a simple PDF and everything's like spread off the page. And it's just, I was like, man, so jump over to my personal device with using Manus. And of course, Andrew, again, you're telling me Copilot can do, or not Copilot, Claude can do exactly what Manus can do. But I've been in Manus and been very impressed with the formatting, the layout, the speed of Manus to take my transcripts and my thoughts. Again, I'm not going to AI saying, give me CE outline. I'm giving it my outline, my past training, whatever. So take a good hard look at Claude. Real quick, because I promised a mindset reset. And we're on the trust factor here. As artificial intelligence continues to define itself as our new computer, as the new technology of the future.
Yeah, like it or hate it, it's cat's out of the bag.
And more so than exactly. And we've been training that cat for the last 70 years. Every bit of data we've put into a computer, this is the consolidation of that, and then the intelligence to drive. Okay. So when it comes to us as business owners, a real estate professional who's trying to grow our practice, maybe recruit, maybe grow a team, I think Andrew said it. We have to step back a bit and think about not just all the tactics. AI gave me this because Andrew, you and I get asked all the time, what's the best platform? Which one should I be on? That's of lesser relevance than the overall strategy. And the strategy is what Covey says, begin with the end in mind. Let's just face it here. Number one, huge shout out to our co-founder of this show, Mike Gandolfo. Mike says, bold decisions are often exciting and scary, but rarely feel comfortable in the moment. However, they are often the ones that transform our lives. And why I share that is Mike is out chasing one of those bold endeavors, one of those bucket list items right now. We just want to wish you well. Happy walking. May the road rise up to meet you. May the sun be always at your back, or the wind be always at your back. We love you, Mike, and you're out there. I'm not going to steal your thunder or your story, but when he gets back, he is going to share what he's accomplishing right now, and I just goosebumps thinking about it. So just shout out to Mike and wishing him well. But the trust factor was formed because we believe that high tech multiply or can power our high touch. But high tech without high touch leaves people empty. High touch without high tech leaves you bottlenecked. But with both, you can actually multiply the trust factor. With both, your trust can go up. And Andrew, I'm seeing so much in our industry right now, delegating the things that matter to AI. Bingo. And staying locked down to the things that do not matter to your consumer. And you're shackled behind your laptop. And, I got to be on social media because all the marketing companies say you got to be posting this many times. So what AI tool? Oh, let me just clone my face. Let me just clone my voice. And we've not even stopped long enough to realize we haven't even defined whose license that falls under. We haven't even defined, like, there's not even the massive lawsuit yet, and it will come. And when it comes, what Stephen Covey said, did you begin with the end in mind? There's a proverb that says the prudent person looks ahead, sees the evil that could happen, and takes protection. That's what an owner's title policy is. So when it comes to AI, it is the new computer, But there is so much that is unregulated, that is, we haven't even figured out yet, that we need to be careful. And at the end of the day, what do you be careful on? Be careful not to, number one, we're not, like, lawsuits in the future aside, anything else, be careful not to lose trust. And if I'm hearing a clone and I can't tell if it's yours or a clone, immediately, I'm going to someone else because I'm still human and I still want to talk to a human. We're still screaming on the phone with AT&T, human representative, right? So Andrew, let me kick this over to you because you're seeing.
I've talked to both sides of the spectrum on this, bro. And the one there are some very tech forward brokers and others out there that are all in on, voice AI technology to call clients and have conversations and tee up sales conversations. Personally, how I feel as a consumer, I think that's a big miss. You're not going to get my business that way. And I think in the world we're still in today, I think the majority of consumers feel AI. And I'd ask all of you listening in, like, how are you feeling right now when you scroll your feeds and people like and trust, and all they're putting out now, you can tell is just written by AI because we have patterns.
Yeah.
How does that actually make you feel? We all, like, I'm giving, like, the idea for me, bro. It's sane. It's more general. It's like, was this really their idea? And I'm not saying don't brainstorm with AI to help refine some thoughts and come up with a nice flow to how to speak about something. I think that's skill development, right? But don't go take some generic hyperbole and just throw it out on the internet because you think it makes you sound better. It doesn't. I will tell you that I resonate more if I really think about it as I'm scrolling or looking or getting an email from someone. I resonate more with the one that I can tell they just use their fat thumbs to say, hey, man, boom, boom, boom.
Yes.
Right?
And by the way, AI overdoes.
It overdoes. And so we all want to feel this. We want to feel cared for. We want to feel connected with. And I think in the sales conversations, if we're trying to automate the sales outreach where AI is doing that for us, I think it completely lacks what matters most, which is human connection and wanting to be felt, like, heard, seen, cared for. So you're hitting the nail on the head. People are running in that direction, but why are they running there? Because historically, the sales conversations are the hardest ones to have. Picking up, and I talk to real estate agents all the time, and I always do a poll in the room, and I'm like, how many people do you have in your database? And title folks, same thing. How many people do you have in your database you have not contacted in the last 90 days? What about 6 months? What about a year? See, it's uncomfortable for you to get on a phone call and say, hey, Tim, man, I've dropped the ball. It's been a year and a half and I haven't talked to you. I haven't reached out. I need to reconnect. That's the uncomfortable sales conversation. So we think just throwing Tim into this, like, AI sequence that these awesome CRMs can do now and spam, hey, are you ready to buy? Are you ready to sell? I'm getting emails right now all the time saying, are you interested in selling your home? What home? People don't even, they don't even know you, and they're just putting you in this auto sequence. So not to belabor the point, Tim, I think everyone gets it, but what's keeping you from doing that truly? And you said it, shackled to the devices. We're sitting there. I got to build this spreadsheet. I got to put together this market analysis. I got to build this website. I got to do all this technical work, because it makes us almost feel like we're being productive, but it's a good excuse on why we're not making our sales calls. So it's like, I'm going to do this work, right? I'm overgeneralizing a bit, but that's what AI can do very well now. And it should be working on our devices with us to free us up. But then we all have to have the discipline to go do the right things, either with our families or with our database or whatever it might be, right? Maybe it's just you freeing up time from sitting behind your computer till 10 p.m. building a CMA so you can go to your kid's soccer match and be fully present, right?
Boom.
So these are some of the things that mindset shift. We've been using it so much when AI came out for this, like, front end, like, I can write this thing that I could never write on my own.
Give me my life in a caricature. Give me my whole life in a caricature. The prompts in the comments. And it's a little bit of, it's new, it's exciting. Marvin Minsky said, intelligence is not defined by knowledge alone, but the ability to apply that knowledge in new and creative ways. I think the new is kind of there. The creative, certainly all of us creatives came out of the closet. Whoa, look at me. But I would like to add a word in there that I think most of us aren't thinking about. Productive ways. If I'm slaving 2 hours working on an expense report, why can't AI do that? Because it can analyze all that data within seconds where I'm sitting there sussing through things. That's brain drag. Oh, and by the way, we've been in a technological hockey stick, like the hockey slope upward, since the smartphone came out. Yep. Back in the day where you had the carbon paper and the fax machines, things were a bit slower. I ask people all the time, what did you do driving to a sales appointment when you didn't have a cell phone? Guess what they did, Andrew? They listened to Zig Ziglar cassette tapes on motivation. They listened to, right? And you actually listened to like an entire thought, an entire message. Like some of us right now watching this live stream, we're multitasking, we're not leaned in, we're catching little bits, and we're actually doing our brain a disservice because we're saying yes to everything instead of no to most everything so we can say yes to the best things. Yep. And here's where I want to ask one big question. I'm going to shift to kind of a warning, and we'll try to wrap the call towards a warning. But here's the big question I think we all need to ask ourselves. Not what can AI do, but what should AI be doing for my life and business? Because it can do infinite amount of things, and a lot of us are like, wow, this is so cool. But is it productive? Did it actually give me life back? By the way, just because it could do something fast doesn't change your habit. It can do something fast, which means now you can do 100 dopamine hits and never execute on any of them. Give me this, give me that. Oh, do this. Oh, I'll take.
Or it can do the work that you would normally be sitting doing, and you don't have the discipline to go do the things you should be doing, and it just turns into you do something that's unimportant, like scroll social media, right? So I think there's an interesting side of this. It's like, what should it be doing for you? But then do you have the right discipline, habits, and accountabilities to do the other pieces of your life well?
What else there was that quote you gave me, bro, once that says, we shape our tools and then our tools shape us. And if you think about all of the technology that's come out, we've shaped those tools, but those tools have shaped us, which has given us instant gratification, Amazon buy it now button. Plus, hey, do you want to go ahead and add this to that order? Have you seen that? It's like, just add to the order. And it's just this boom, boom, boom. What has that done for us? Well, it's actually made us more disconnected. We get home and our kids are competing with my attention. Hey, baby, great job. Yeah. That's competing with my attention. And what I'm deciding, bro, is that in my life, I'm going to demand more of my technology, and I'm going to be a gracious nonconformist within my company, with my colleagues, in my community. I'm going to be a gracious nonconformist. We are going to put cell phones away. We're going to Sabbath once a week from technology. We are going to go on a walk and be disciplined and let my brain say, I did so much productive work today leveraging the tool of AI that I can chill out and stop and actually go enjoy what we're creating.
Yeah.
But AI has the propensity to feed the age-old need of there must be something more. There must be something more. You know what? You'll keep on that hunt until you realize you have everything you need right in front of you right now. And back real quick to Andrew, I'm going to kick it over to you because your wheels are churning. But I do want to go back to the database and how we're hiding behind technology instead of doing the hard work of human connection. Let me pass it back to you though, as far as like what should AI do and actually the discipline to step away, to put technology down.
Yeah, I mean we've hit the nail on the head, and I think if you're listening to this, I'm always not all of you. I get convicted because I know I spend too much time on my device. I know I spend too much time sometimes not doing the things I know I need to do. Right? We're all human. We have these natures. This is just a reminder for us all today. Don't let technology make you feel. There is, I think, a massive placebo effect about getting in and having a whole brainstorm about starting a business or doing the side project or all this, and then you never do it, but you felt productive because you had a really good conversation with ChatGPT. So don't fall into that placebo effect trap, right? I think that's number one. Number two, just some couple practical things, right? If you're not, Tim, we come back to the database, but yeah, if you're not getting into Claude and you're not exploring that right now, moving your memories over from ChatGPT into Claude, which you can do, so it knows you and it can start with you from an advanced level. If you're not leveraging Manus right now, Manus is something that I would very strict here, and I would say this, and I'm saying it until we know otherwise. I would not use Manus personally integrated into any aspect of my life or business data, period. Okay. It is a Singapore-based AI. What I will use it for is browser, internet, looking things up, running automations of things I need to go online and look. For example, researching every week for real estate agents what is going on in your community, and then helping you deliver content from that to your clients' inboxes or feeds, right? So like that's a great automation for Manus. Researching property, researching life stuff like the best flights and vacation packages.
Yeah.
Manus is unique in the sense that it runs agentically like without you having to ask it to. So when you do a prompt, it just starts using, it uses traditional AI text scraping, but it also uses a browser to open and go search and look. And it uses a multimodal vision to be able to look at screenshots and do things on a computer that ChatGPT just won't without you turning on agent mode, or even Claude won't necessarily go do unless you're using the Chrome browser extension. So just Manus for me is automations when it comes to content, research, getting reports. And then Tim, what you mentioned, designing, it's pretty stellar at designing PDFs, presentations, handouts, things like that. So definitely recommend exploring it for those reasons. And then I don't want to knock ChatGPT because April 21st, ChatGPT dropped their new Image 2.0. And if you've not been in there since April 21st, this is a massive time save, because I know many of us spend a lot of time in Canva, but being able to create really clean graphics, like giving it one of your old graphics, but then a new picture, a new text that needs to go on it with maybe a new logo. The new image mode can put all that together pretty seamlessly just by talking through what you need. Editing photos, like staging, just taking me out of my pajamas and putting a suit on me, right? To make me look, whatever it is.
Is that what you're doing right now?
Exactly. Is it even me? Put a hand in front of your face. So, anyway.
I do like the bourbon collection. I do know that's real. I do know that's real.
So I'm not throwing ChatGPT out here. It's still very strong and great, but I think it has the best image editing and design creative right now out of all the tools.
Yeah. Well, quick story time. So Andrew, I want to tease this out real quick. So TMS call on the trust factor every third Thursday. So June, July, and August, don't miss. Mike Gandolfo and Andrew Hooper are joining me. I'm going to sit back and ask some questions, play devil's advocate, but we are going to dig deep on Claude. And Claude, by the way, is the kind of the AI that can dig into some business process with a good SOP in place, with training in place. It can dig into business process. Manus being dig outward. Go research mine outward, present, do some things, but not the business process. By the way, Meta purchased Manus, so there's now
it's in process right now, but there's some.
Gotcha. So that's a U.S. domicile happening. So from like a U.S. governance and all that, which is important, which is very important when you're looking at solutions. So like Claude, Manus. So we're going to in June dive deep into Claude. And by the way, Andrew's going to have his screen shared. He's going to be punching, plugging, doing prompts. He's going to teach you how to offload some of the monotonous work, some of the analyzation, some of the heavy lifting, and then putting yourself as the human in the loop for verification and communication. That's Claude. And then in July, we're going to dig into Manus and or outward facing. We may throw Claude in there again, but for the outward facing research, promotional, all the Canva, the work that we're all manipulating ourselves, looking outward there. And then in August, we are going to talk about this little guy right here, which I call R2D2, and that is how to incorporate recording. Okay. when I say it like this, just very briefly, when you were a magistrate back in the day, or you were an ambassador from a country back in the day, and actually today they still have these people. You went from one country to another country to do the king's business. You were sent a scribe along with you, because as you sat there negotiating or doing whatever, the scribe took every detailed note. So when you went back, they could accomplish the words of your mouth. Nations rise and fall. Kingdoms rose and crumbled based on people being their word. The scribe was so important. And in our business today, because of technology, because we can do it all, we're supermen and superwomen. We're going out on every sales call. We're making a lot of statements. We're doing all these promises. We're doing all this stuff, and we're taking a lot of notes. We're going on listing appointments, taking all these notes, and the work piles up, and we're slaving into the wee hours of the night, building out listing descriptions, or hoping we didn't forget to follow up with that financial advisor who could be a great referral partner for us out of that chamber event. Where if we would implement a scribe into our workflow, we would see our business rise instead of crumble. So in August, we're going to dive deep. And some of you already have jumped the gun and grabbed this from our trainings, but we're going to dive deep. So don't miss June, July, and August.
We're backing that up with the workflow around it, and how to leverage it and how to automate some of it. Because, frankly, with what we have now, we can connect things together and let the back end of our note taking and prep for follow-up be automated, which again tees you up for the next conversation. So we're going to be digging into that workball. So I can't wait.
Absolutely. So
I'm going to surprise you with some things, Tim. We haven't covered yet.
You're going to blow me up. I was with, we finally got together. We hadn't been together for like 2 months. We finally got together and just blew my mind and really did sell me on Claude, really showed me some productive things from my life, bro. And I have you to thank for that. I snuggled with my daughter in the plushy carpet up in our her new room. And by the way, let's talk about this for just a second. We just moved. Okay. I'm sitting here.
Congrats,
just
bro.
moved. Internet's on, and we're up to speed, and my office is being developed downstairs. So hopefully soon you'll see the new podcast studio for Hanging with the Hoopers, and Andrew's going to join me there, and just some exciting things. But here's the deal. We just moved. We moved to Virginia 8 years ago. We never thought we were going to move again. We bought this beautiful home in the country. We remodeled it, all this, and we just moved. Why? To get closer to school, college with my daughter in 2 years, school for the kids this August. I didn't see it coming. Jen didn't see it coming. We started feeling just this leading. Hey, let's get more community. Let's get closer. We've been rural. Amazing. So I don't need the congratulations. Here's what I want to challenge everybody with. The real estate agent who moved us to Virginia is saved in my phone as Virginia's most awesome realtor. And he took good care of us 8 years ago. Andrew, we did not work with him this round. And that was not on like me choosing not to work with him because he did a great job. It's simply because somebody jumped into our life in the last few months that we really, really liked. My wife really liked her. And that's a big thing. That's a big deciding thing for me too. It's like, boom, that's easy. And it's a relationship. I never saw one single social media reel from this real estate agent. I never saw one single, nothing. She uses voice memos really, really well. I love voice memos. Made it easy. Made the whole process super easy. The way she picked up the phone, touched base with us, like originally to make the relationship. Hey, I'm just reaching out. I was like, okay, sounded really nice. Let's get together. I like to know real estate agents. And boom, the decision was made. Like, it was because of proactive human connection, not some sequence. And by the way, when I get a sequence through my text message, I feel like you just transgressed my text messages, because those are for friends and family and personal and colleagues and all that. So when you use Big Purple Dot or some CRM, and I'm not knocking Big Purple Dot, just saying any CRM that says, oh, we do SMS, you could just put it all through SMS and do this whole campaign. Time out. Have you given somebody the gift of your face and your vocal to introduce yourself, whether that's on the phone or through video? So big, huge caution. Don't let AI, with all the beautiful things they can show you, just add to the fear you already have of reaching out and establishing human connection. So Andrew, you said it. I wanted to circle back to it. And I love my past real estate agent. He's amazing. He still saved in my phone as Virginia's most awesome realtor. And maybe one day he'll call me. And
But
it's
did
been
he
just
ever,
such a long time.
did he call you? When was the last time he reached out to touch base?
It's been a couple years.
There you go.
A couple years.
There you go.
But my wife now has coffee. And what's so interesting is we closed, and now our current real estate agent, and I'll shout out to Heike, she's digging in more. She's digging in more. It's not, we're done, I'm off to the next one. She's digging in more. I think she thinks you're moving to the area, bro. She wants the referral. But anyway.
That's hilarious. Well, let's do some Q&A. Let's do some Q&A. There's a question in the chat. One of my agents recently started using Perplexity. So Tanya, great question. I have Perplexity and I use it. Perplexity is very strong for me with research. Perplexity also gives you access to a lot of the latest models. You can choose, I want to use ChatGPT's model. I want to use Claude's model. So you can run different models. But what I found is it's not as natively integratable like a Claude is into a lot of our workspace, or like a Copilot is into a lot of our workspace, or even Gemini into a Google workspace. Where I use Perplexity the most is, and Tim, I just turned you onto this the other day, was the browser, Perplexity Comet browser. It's a good Chromium-based browser, and I use it for agentic tasks. So you can literally turn on an assistant in the browser and say, order all my groceries, or go over here and fill out this form for me for something, and let me review. So it'll do work in the browser that you would normally be doing. But solid choice overall. I think most people are like, what's the one I should be on? And anymore, you just can't be on one, because you're going to need 3 or 4. Chat's going to be great at images for now, right? And so any design, you kind of want that for those images. Manus is going to be the best at going out and researching and pulling the data you need. Claude's going to be great at working within some of your workspaces, Gemini, Copilot. So you really have to choose where you're going to invest. And what I tell folks all the time, Tim, too, on, do I pay for all the tools? Yes, absolutely. You need to pay. We recommend a team or enterprise account, because you get extra data protections there, but do your research. Each platform's a little different there. Someone's like, well, Andrew, I'm paying $25 for this and $30 for this. Here's what I believe. Know your time value. If one AI that I pay $30 for can take one task off my plate per month that saves me an hour or two, it's already paid for itself, because I make a lot more than $30 an hour. And so know what you pay yourself, because that is, to me, how you determine, am I investing in the right tool to be able to save me time when I do these repetitive tasks, and does it do it well?
It's powerful, bro.
Yeah.
Hey, great question. And guys, thanks for joining and asking questions. We are going to wrap up a little early today, but I want to end with, everything we've shared, by the way. If you're a real estate agent on here, make sure that as you're leveraging AI in your processes and in your business, you're disclosing that. If you're leveraging a recorder, we'll talk about this more in August with Applaud, but disclose it. Your customer wants to know that you are tech forward. They do. They're leveraging AI. They're using it. So if you're a mortgage company and a title company listening in, and many of you in the chat can see, hey, Meg and Miriam, and switched from ChatGPT to Claude a few weeks ago, not looking back. I love it. So awesome stuff. Listen, here's the deal. What we're sharing, make sure you're having conversations with your real estate partners. Make sure you're having the AI conversation. Share best practices. Pull a small mastermind together. Really help each other, because what's going to happen is we're going to fill each other's gaps as we navigate this new computer together, okay? But as we end, bro, can I share a quick story? And then we're going to jump.
Yep.
And I know you have to get over to the Florida webinar. Andrew knows my journey. I was not necessarily proud of my journey, in that I thought, I'm going to share a quick screen here, bro, because I want to share this picture. I was a non-traditional student. Andrew and I both grew up blue collar family. We worked hard. We grew up on a farm, expat over in Germany. Dad was military in the background, got into ministry, and we were overseas all of our lives. And We grew up learning to work hard, pay your bills, do right by people, live a good life. Real estate investing, the real estate industry, that's new for Andrew and I. In fact, we've led our family into that. Now, I went back to school as a non-trad. When I started school, I was working 2 jobs, and my wife was pregnant with our our third, because my first class was in 2012. And she was pregnant with our third. And in order to keep both jobs, I thought, I'm just going to do online. So I did online for 2 years. And then I went to night school with Middle Tennessee State University. And to make a very long story short, bro, I just put myself through it. And I didn't want fanfare. I didn't want anybody to know. And that's kind of sad, because looking back, I'm like, there's so many non-traditional students who actually struggle going through school. So number one, I want to shout out my buddy on the screen here. I just went, guys, 3 weeks ago, and my wife literally is the reason for it. She said, honey, you are going to walk. You didn't walk 8 years ago when we moved to Virginia. You should have. You are going back to walk. I'm like, I'm too old now. I don't need to walk. I just want to keep moving on and get my master's. And I'm pushing towards my master's degree right now. She's like, you're going to go walk. So we went to Tennessee, bro. My mom came down for Mother's Day, and I walked. And I got to walk with this veteran. He was right behind me in line. And at his first class, 2009. Okay. Now, I'm not, number one, shout out if you're a non-traditional, or if you even so much as want to go back to school, like I'm encouraging you, never too late. Like my buddy Keith says, never too late. Now I'm going to stop sharing, come back to the screen. Here's the reason I share that. I'm sitting there as somebody who's already in corporate America, who's already done a lot of tenure with my career, who's seen a lot of success. And I'm sitting with a graduating class of young people, bright, brilliant, amazing energy and everything. And they bring this commencement speaker in, a business owner I will not name, from Nashville. Hats off to all of his successes, but for the first 5 minutes, it was all about his successes. And then he looked at the graduating class and said, and by the way, AI is here to blah, blah, blah. He started going on this whole rampage about AI. He was booed during his commencement speech 3 times. I did not participate, but I empathized. These great, bright students went into college in 2020, 2021, 2022, when ChatGPT OpenAI was just rolling out all of the agentic stuff. None of their college education caught up yet. They went 4 years to graduate, to now news of 17,000 at Oracle being laid off and blah, 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 blah. Okay. Now, while I am totally optimistic because AI is going to create so many more jobs, I believe this, it's going to reimagine life for us. We're just not going to be doing Excel anymore. We're going to be doing a new thing. I want all these young people to see their brilliance. They need to learn how to storytell, communicate, be the tip of the spear for human engagement again. Don't go work for some temp firm to punch in data anymore. So I'm hopeful for them, but the disconnect between a leader in Nashville to come in and do that, and by the way, all over the country, any commencement speech bringing up AI was booed. So I'm going to challenge everybody to go watch Eric Church's commencement speech from UNC. By the way, I want to go get my master's at UNC. So huge shout out to UNC and to Eric Church. Go watch his commencement speech. Get the goosebumps happen for yourself, because they will. And then ask yourself this question: what is the timeless need that has been here millions of years ago or thousands of years ago, whatever age of the earth you subscribe to, and that's going to be here for millennia to follow? The timeless need. And in my business, am I meeting that timeless need? And it comes down to human connection. So just want to challenge everyone, never too late. Go pursue your goals and dreams. Andrew, so good being on with you today, man. Let's not get booed out there. Let's have some emotional intelligence to lead.
Never. I'm kidding. We love you guys. Thank you. Thank you for joining, bro. Good to be on with you again, man.
Take care, everybody.